All right, we are live. Hello and welcome back to the Business Octopus weekly live stream that we do every Friday on this fabulous morning. What are we at? 8:30 a.m. We used to do them in the evenings, but it got a little bit hard to do. You know, it's Friday afternoon. You've had a big week. You're at the end of
Absolutely.
the
You're not
brain.
getting us at our best on a Friday
Yeah,
afternoon, I'd
yeah.
wager. Yeah.
It was getting pretty
We're a
close to
little
beer
more
o'clock.
sprightly in the
Yeah.
morning.
And I think when we pick these times, we're trying to get the most audience. And I think on a Friday,
Yeah.
maybe you need a little pick me up. Maybe this is something that's a little bit more uh, engaging or thought provoking for the day. And we also get to sort of a time when our US friends can have a listen as well. So
Exactly.
I think this is about 5 or 6 p.m. for some over in the
Yes.
US, but certainly a lot better than their 4 or 5 a.m., which is what it would be if it was in our afternoons. So here we are. You've got us now. Yeah. So today, setting the conditions for innovation and initiative. So before we get into it, I guess what's on your mind? What have you been thinking? How's your week been?
Look, productive week this week, getting
Mhm.
a lot done. So we had this come up in a conversation we were having yesterday. So
Mm.
innovation, initiative, and having team members that just start working on stuff that they know that the organization or the company needs without you even having awareness of it. And we were having a conversation around, okay, how do we create the environment to breed all of these humans to be doing the same thing? So, and that's where that came from.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were having a all staff meeting, and now we've got 30 people. Not everybody can be in the meeting at the same time. Different people are doing
Mm-hmm.
different things, and someone drops that they're working on a new website, and like that was the first I'd heard of it, and I looked through the link, and it looks pretty awesome. Like it's not up yet, so if you
So good.
it but the point was that I didn't ask for it, neither did my business partner. But this person just sort of thought they'd work on it in the background. And all of a sudden, it's like, I was just going to do this and then show you, and then you can see what you like. Now, I think that obviously people are probably going to run to, I'm the boss. I should have told them everything that they need to do. I want to be in control. But that's a little bit problematic. Like I probably wouldn't have chosen this theme out of the gate, but I look at this website and I go, that looks really clean. It's better on the page. It uses the space better. It's less scrolling. The menu is organized a bit better. It's going to load faster because of the way the structure of it is. It looks more modern and fresh. And sometimes a good new fresh look can really bring new eyes or reinvigorate old eyes on your site, on your brand, on your business. So it's not so far different from what we're trying to achieve. It's not like a complete cut from this going in this direction and head in that direction. It's like an enhancement to what we already have. And that was always been my biggest fear. We've spent so much time and energy building a brand. We don't want someone to come in and like destroy everything and start again. But this is not what happened. So got into a meeting, got a shock that we had a whole new website under construction, and that's where we're up to so far. So I guess what drives that? What I want to know what the thinking was, and I've had a bit of a conversation with him. But what was your first take when you go, oh damn, there's a new website, and the owner of the company doesn't even know what the hell's going on?
I'm not gonna lie, initial thought was panic because we've been working on some stuff in the background that hinged on the
Mm,
website, and it's like,
mm,
oh, okay, this changes things, or does it? So then I took a
mm,
step back and was like, well, hang on, I'm going to get curious about this. Let's jump in and have a look, and
mm,
then make sure Avon knows because we're working on this in the background, and then
mm,
it was like, well, actually, this is amazing. Like
mm,
it was very cool. So and I think to your point, we don't know what we don't know as business owners.
mm,
So we might not know how to reduce the scroll or how to do like make the elements look more open and spacious on a page, but we have our experts that we've got on the team that know these things. So having them sort of take the lead on a project like that can be really, really powerful. It's even better when they take their own initiative. And what I think you've done really well, Avon, is the team know the brand. So, and they know your expectations around the brand. So that, I believe, is why, and also the culture. So that's why you can look at that. It's not finished yet, but it looks pretty solid. It's 80% of the way there for someone to preview. That's why you were just like, this is awesome, because they knew the culture, the branding, the feel, all of those things. And that's been, you know, they don't get that without that being part of what is done on a day-to-day basis.
I also haven't had to spend 100 hours fretting and deciding and coming up with, you know, things that I think are going to be amazing.
Decision fatigue, right? Someone's done it all for you. Amazing. Yeah.
And I think, you know, like the more you scale up, you know, like looking at, I don't know, take the Commonwealth Bank, for example. Do you think the director or the owner comes up with all of that? No, they've probably got the CMO. And then all of these people are coming to the table. They'll have built prototypes and, you know, ideas and said, this is what we want to do, or done studies to go, this is what the issues are, this is what we need to solve for. And then they're going to present that. So they're, you know, particularly bigger you go, you're going to get a lot of things where there's a lot of wasted effort, because they might have to build 3 templates, come to the boss, but it's like you have your own internal client. And I think that's kind of that position where we're getting to, where like I'm the internal client and this is what I want. And they're like, we're kind of establishing this, I guess, entrepreneurialism where people get to be a little bit creative, a little bit of ownership, drive a project, an agenda, an issue, and try to resolve it. And, you know, I think encouraging those ideas is really, really important. And so, you know, quite often I think it's important to leave space for ideas, just to say, have you got any ideas? I know, and be vulnerable. I know I don't have all the answers. I want to hear from you. And then, you know, pause long enough. I think sometimes people go, any ideas? No one answers straight away. And so they go, oh, no got to be patient. Yeah. You just say, you know, get people together. You know, like last week we went out. So this is my team in India. And I think that's probably more impactful that it is the team in India, because there is such a power distance divide between manager and employee ordinarily in Indian culture. So for us to go there, you know, we took them out to dinner, you know, that meant that we could sort of be more on the same level. You know, you have casual conversations. You know, we flew one of our staff to attend a conference with us. So, you know, we're creating these sort of opportunities for them to be a part of it, not be a subject of the kingdom, if you will, you know, like, so they have a seat at the table, and creating that space and encouraging the ideas and getting them to say something, and listening and then reacting. Like that's only one example. Yes, I was shocked by that, but I had someone else come to me and say, I think we can fix this problem with this solution. And it was in the back of my mind that we could do that. But the fact that they came to me with problem, solution, let's go, was amazing.
That's awesome.
So I think just, you know, one thing talking about the power distance problem is that, you know, this happens in multiple cultures, less so in Australia. You know, we're very eager to think of ourselves on the same level as the employer. We're very eager to speak up and speak our mind. But in some countries, that's not the case. In fact, a plane has flown into the side of a mountain because the co-pilot didn't feel like he had the authority to tell the captain what to do. This was a plane that killed, you know, hundreds of people because of a power distance problem. So airlines around the world do a specific training to defeat power distance. Like that is part of becoming a pilot for an international standard of flying a plane. So that tells you something, right? If someone is willing.
It does. Oh, absolutely. That I was not aware of that one even. Wow, excellent point. Yeah. So baking that into your onboarding training and having those conversations regularly and making sure that everyone's on the same level. Yeah, that's really powerful. Amazing.
I don't know how the airlines do it, but I'll tell you how we do it, because I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
literally jump in a Zoom and we start chatting, and we don't leave until they call me an asshole.
Gee, I haven't even had that privilege yet.
Oh, well, I'm sure you would be comfortable to do it. Like, do it now. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. Only if it was warranted. So how do you encourage that when they're so terrified to do it? Is it just a case of we're just not leaving and I'll wait as long as we need to? Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Like, you need to be comfortable to call me an asshole, and if you're not comfortable enough to call me an asshole, then you're probably also not comfortable to tell me that something is broken and something is not working. And if you're not going to have the confidence to speak up about something, then we're going to have a massive issue, because are we going to fly into the side of a mountain? Like, would be better for you to speak up about a problem that we can fix. Like, if I'm making a mistake, I know I'm not perfect, I need to be told so that I can fix it. If I don't know it, I can't fix it. So I would much rather be told that I'm an asshole and that I need to fix something. I will take that on balance, right? I will listen and go, well, look, I'm surrounded by 10 people. One person's calling me an asshole. Everybody says I'm good. Should I listen to that one person? Probably not.
Maybe they're the only one that's ballsy enough to tell you in that moment, right?
Well, this is what I say, you take it on balance. You still need to look at what's the situation, what's the depth of concern of that person. The body language will tell you things. You know, there's a feel in a room when you walk in. You know that no matter what people say, whether you're the asshole or not. If you might walk into a room, be called the asshole, but everybody else in the room is the asshole. This is turning into a big talk about assholes, but nonetheless.
Look, it's like, okay, new drinking game team. How many times can Avon say asshole? How many times?
You could do that with the song Roxanne.
There you go.
Or James Bond.
Look, now we're just going.
Yeah.
Over here.
Way off topic. Well, setting the conditions for innovation and initiative. That's the topic. So getting back on track, setting the vision and the mission, like understanding where the company is going over and above, what is happening in the next week. I think that's important, because, you need to give people the time and space to sort of zoom out and think about, what's going to get us to where we want to be. You want to make the future look exciting so that they want to be a part of it, and they're going to come along for the ride, and they're going to go to where you want them to go, where the company is going to go. So if they're going to come up with ideas that drive you closer, then you need to have that vision. Otherwise, they don't know what they're shooting for, and they're not going to bother.
Exactly right. And it ties back to what we were saying earlier around that, setting the culture and understanding how things should look and feel and all of that, and being really clear about that and baking that into the daily conversations that we're having. Absolutely.
Well, one of our points here is, giving people space to fail. Like with that website example, if I had have gone on my high horse and said, what the hell are you doing? This is my company. Don't you go create a website. And I know there are people that do that. Then that person will never try again.
That's it. And then that becomes the culture. I'm just gonna clip my ticket, do my 9 to 5 and do the bare minimum. I'm not going to go beyond that. And that's what happens. Absolutely. I see it all the time.
Well, there's a difference between written culture and lived culture. So, you see it in big organizations where they go, these are our values. I think there was one guy, he's like pretty famous in marketing, Rory Sutherland. He was the chairman of Ogilvy's, a doctorate in marketing and behavioral psychology and all that sort of stuff. And he was saying, he pulled up the Barclays, which is like one of the major financial institutions. Yep. And they have the most boring, dry, and horrendous values that you've ever seen, the most corporate guff. And at that point, it doesn't really, it's obvious that it has nothing to do with what the people are doing, because the people are 100%. Like, get money, work hard. And, like you've got Ernst Young the other day, one of the major big four corporations, or PwC, I can't remember which one it was, literally an employee worked themselves to death. And one of their values is probably like work-life balance.
100%.
Huge difference.
No doubt.
What's written down and what's actually lived. So
yeah, absolutely.
But like back on that space to fail thing, like I said to that employee, like he gone and built that website, and I said to him, hey, that looks really cool. Did Rana tell you to do that? Like my business partner. And
Yeah,
he's like, no, I just thought it would be good because, you know, over time we've cobbled together, you know, different elements within the website, and now we need some brand congruence. There's some issues that like technically are not great, so we're just going to build a new one. And this is what I thought I was getting close to showing you, but here's where we're up to. And
so good.
And yeah, like instead of reacting negatively, you just look at that and go, tell me more. And then you go,
Yes.
see what you're getting at here. I like it. Then you can give some feedback and you go, I like it, but can we just tweak this and this while we're at it, since we're in motion? And you know, that, like, I think the important thing is you want people to be on mission, on task. So you don't want someone to come at it with like some left of field thing that's totally not their job, totally irrelevant to where the company is going. There was one person in another company that came along, and like this company was like all about training apprentices, and this person came and did an "Are you okay" day thing. They're not in marketing, they're not involved in any of these sort of like brand positioning or anything like that, but they took it upon themselves to basically set up a picnic day and then invite Channel 9. And like, here we are going all hell for leather for this one event that, you know, like may not be on the corporate vision. Yes, cool, it's important, but it's a distraction from the actual core corporate mission. And it had nothing to do with this person's job. But now they've gone and involved all these other parties, and it makes them look bad if they go and then tell that person, no, you're out of line here. Like, I think there's a fine line, psychological safety within the realm of making corporate sense. So you need to have some rules for the creativity, but you also need to have room for creativity. So it's a really fine balance to create.
Yeah, one of my clients talks about it in the sense of, he says, I give them a corral, Amanda. So they, as long as they stay within that corral, I don't mind what they do, but they have to stay in the corral. That's my only condition. And that works really, really well because they understand where the corral is, how it looks, how high it is, and what the constraints, if you like, are, and then they can play whatever games they want within the corral.
That's probably the best analogy, and that's probably a really good civilian way to explain it. The military way is you say left and right of arc. So on a military range, you've got your weapons, and like, because the bullets go for miles, right? So you know, different weapons go for further and shorter, and you need some space to move within it. And so you'd say, here is your left and right of arc. So you literally get the compass out, and you go from this location. No further left than this many degrees, no further right than that many degrees. And it's quite open. And you say you have freedom to do these types of activities heading in that direction. And you can't go further than this, you can't go less than that. It's the same as the corral. But you know, that's your zone. And then, you know, like when you're describing you do orders, right? Mission orders. Do you say, here are the constraints and this is the mission? We will kind of tell you how we think it should go, but if you need to change the plan along the way, it's okay, provided that you don't do this and that you achieve that. So, you know, the last thing you want to do is like march into battle, do 18 paces forward, 3 paces to the left, 26 paces forward again, and then 2 paces to the right. That is a very poor mission execution plan, because what if the path is blocked? Or what if you get you need a way to change the plan within the rules, but still achieve the mission.
Absolutely. Ooh, I like those analogies, Aben. Nicely done.
Well, I think we're getting close to time for today. I think that key points would be, you know, avoid power distance, avoid shutting people down, hear them out, listen, understand what it is. Because if someone comes up with an idea and it's a bad one, it's probably not necessarily a waste of time, because it could be a learning experience. I would even document it, you know, like the Thomas Edison 10,000 ways to not make a light bulb. If they didn't document it along the way, hey, we tried this, and get a repository to go, here's all the things that didn't work. if you had a document repository, oh, we have a viewer. There we go. Hello. Good to see you there. Welcome. Sorry if we, I only saw this just now. But yeah, if you didn't document those things along the way, then more than likely you are probably you're doomed to repeat failure. So it's okay to fail as long as you document it and then say,
yeah,
maybe have a failed experiments log. You know, like the community sort of thing is a great idea, because you could say, here's the idea. And then as people comment, you know, we tried this, but it didn't work. Great. Now we know a way that didn't work. We tried that and it didn't work. We tried 5 other things. Now, maybe that none of them worked perfectly, but one was better than the other options. And so that could be voted up as like a,
yes.
here is the current thinking based on the information and the testing to date. And it has the least amount of problems, and you still need to work around with this, 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 and this. For those gray area, that yeah, this is like a forum concept, but that could be a way to grow the body of knowledge, grow the corporate intelligence that you have within the collective intelligence that you have within your organization, allow people to test, allow people to have new ideas, document so those new ideas are not constantly new. Like the new idea has been done, tested, tried, failed, documented, so that the next idea either builds on that failure or is something new altogether.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it.
Awesome. Well, I think that's pretty good. Anything else from the Peanut Gallery before we run along?
I would add, so you said earlier, so when you're having those conversations, they brought you this fabulous idea. Maybe it's like in the realm of where you need it to be, but it might not be there yet. You said, tell me more, which is awesome. The other thing you can do, if you need to guide them in a particular direction, like bring them back into the corral or in alignment with the vision or the mission, you can say something like, what if X, Y, Z? Don't put too fine a point on it, but just to guide them in the right direction and get them thinking about possibilities over on that corner of the corral. So what if we did this, or what if we looked at that? So that is what the Peanut Gallery will leave you with. What if, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the Peanut Gallery could have been you, or it could have been anybody listening along. So so anyway, it's funny. All good. All right.
I love it.
Thank you for watching. If indeed you still are, I think if you are out there, you should definitely be staying classy.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next time.